All right, Chair Allen, we are good to go.
Great, thanks. This is Pat Allen, Chair of the Sherwood School Board. On this meeting by phone only tonight, I'll go ahead and call to order the June 24th meeting of the Sherwood School Board. First item of business is to open a public hearing on approval of a 2021 budget, and I will turn it over to Mr. Rose for a brief staff report.
Thank you, Chair Allen. Good evening, Board of Directors and members of the school district staff. As you know, Oregon budget law requires public schools to pass a budget by June 30th of each fiscal year. The Sherwood School District Budget Committee met on June 1st and was presented with the superintendent's proposed budget, and the budget message. The committee reviewed the budget and gave the opportunity for public input. There was much discussion amongst the committee about the uncertainty of the budget given the likelihood of state cuts, but ultimately the committee voted to approve the budget as submitted with no changes. The approved budget is now before you for a public hearing, also the allowance of further testimony from the public, and then final consideration by the board. The budget as approved by the budget committee at their June 1st meeting remains unchanged and no further changes are recommended by the administration at this time. The total budget for the general fund was $59,421,826. The budget for the capital projects fund, the other very large fund, including the current bond work, is $64,446,129, which combined with the other smaller funds gives us a total budget of $153,720,644. After the budget committee hearing, the board does have the opportunity to make limited changes to the approved budget. Local budget law allows the board to lower expenditures in any fund or to increase any fund by 10% or less. Once board consideration is complete, the board must take action to adopt the budget, and that's what we're asking for you to do this evening. Also, based on a comment from Director Adamson about the need for a management control statement in light of state funding uncertainty related to the economic impacts of COVID-19 pandemic, you will find a resolution to that effect attached in the action items. The direction provided in this resolution is for staff to conserve resources to the greatest extent possible. And with that, Chair Allen, my staff report is complete.
Very good, thank you. Ms. Andriek, do we have any submitted public comment that you need to read into the record tonight?
We do not have any submitted public comment.
Very good, thank you. In that case, I will go ahead and close the public hearing on the adoption of the 2021 budget and move to the action item of consideration of the budget. Before I open that item up, I do want to sort of acknowledge the elephant in the room, which we talked about at length during our budget committee meetings, which is this budget is sort of, it's a things going on as they were before kind of a budget, which we all acknowledge going in is not very realistic, but we also don't know enough to be able to prudently make changes to that budget to reflect the way things are going to be. There are pending federal actions, pending state legislative actions that would actually make it dangerous to try to guess the outcomes of those and adopt a budget now that would reflect that. That's why we will expect to come back in August and make adjustments to the budget based on that reality. With that, we'll move to adoption of the 2021 budget. Is there a motion? Was somebody prepped with motion language?
Director Highland, it looks like you're speaking, but I think you're muted.
Unmute.
No,
hi,
I'm
thank
not
you.
muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the budget as is, with all the provisions that you just stated.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Actually, Christine, you should probably call the roll actually for the record on a vote.
All right, Chair Allen,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hecker,
Aye.
Director Campbell,
Aye.
Director Adamson,
Aye.
Director Hyland.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Very good, thank you. Next, I would entertain a motion for an approval of appropriations and to levy property taxes.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Ms. Andrick, call the roll, please.
Chair Allen,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hecker,
Aye.
Director Campbell,
Aye.
Director Adamson,
Aye.
Director Hyland.
Aye.
Okay, 5-0.
Motion carries. Very good. Let's move on to action item 3B, commitments and policies of fund balance related to the 2021 budget. Mr. Rose. Mr. Rose.
So I'm sorry, what?
This is commitments and policies of fund balance. Fiscal
Oh.
2021 budget is up 3B.
Yes, so that's the completion of your adoption process. The third and final resolution is to approve the following commitments and policies prior to June 30th. It's a requirement of the Government Accounting Standards Board number 54. So something we do.
Very good. Is there a motion to adopt the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Ms. Andrick, call the roll.
Chair Allen,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hecker,
Aye.
Director Campbell,
Aye.
Director Adamson,
Aye.
Director Hyland.
Aye.
Okay, 5-0.
Motion carries. Very good. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there any objection to adopting the consent agenda? Very well. Ms. Andrick, would you call the roll on adoption of the consent agenda?
Chair Allen,
Aye.
Vice Chair Hecker,
Aye.
Director Campbell,
Aye.
Director Adamson,
Aye.
Director Hyland.
Aye.
Did we have a motion and a
Motion
second
carries.
on that?
I move whatever it was that we just did.
And I'll second it.
Got it.
That was meaningful
All right, we'll move on.
policy making right there.
Right. We'll move on to general public comment. Ms. Andrick, is there any general public comment to share?
There is not.
Very good. Then let's move on to additional action items appearing in the role of Mr. Bennett in tonight's production of the Sherwood School Board meeting is Mr. Emmert.
Good evening, Board Chair Allen, Board of Directors, and Superintendent Cordy. As you know, the OSBA submits drafts of policy updates to the district periodically throughout the year. These suggested or mandated updates represent changes in law that impact board policy or optional suggested language that the district can choose to adopt if applicable to our practices. Tonight, we bring updates to board policies in section B, I, and J for first read and review, and we will bring these policy updates back to you in August for possible discussion and adoption.
All right, are there any questions for Mr. Emmert? All right, very good. All right, that concludes our regular business meeting agenda items. Our next meeting will be August 12th, and Dr. Cordy, remind me, August 12th will be on reopening plans, and the next meeting after that will be budget. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. And we would like to have a work session with you on the 12th. We just need to work on times, and Chair Allen, we need to visit about what that could look like, but we want to bring our recommendations to the board and then enter into a conversation, answer questions, receive pushback prior to submitting to the state, and it's due by August 15th.
Got it. And just, I can't remember if this is the conversation we had generally as a board during work session, or if it was just a conversation Heather and I had, but my hope is that we have some kind of a hybrid in-person distance meeting. Much as we're inviting our students back to school, we want to model the meeting and being physically present, subject to all the distancing and other requirements, is safe and is a prudent way to proceed. And so we're going to try to construct these meetings to do that. We've got a bit of a facilities challenge around that, and so it may not be in one of our facilities, but anticipate the opportunity for us to be physically together as a board in some fashion, with Counselor Hecker, or Director Hecker, having some kind of a thinner version of a face covering, it sounds like. With that, has anyone got anything they want to offer for the general good before we adjourn?
It doesn't look like it.
General, just
All
a
right.
general thank you to the administration for all the great work you've done, and and it continues over the summer. No summer for you guys. So thank you very much.
All right, and with that note of thanks, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.